Not a whole lot changing to begin the week for Shiba Inu, but we have started off on a bit of a green note. Hopefully this is something that continues as the day progresses. And I talked about earlier in my ADA video today that we do have some things that could cause some volatility in the week. We have Bank of Japan with their interest rate decision, the Fed with their interest rate decision here in the US, and then the ECB once again having to make an interest rate decision too. Now, what I will say is that there's something for Shiba Inu that does need to correct, but we are at the point where it looks like a pivot may be in store for us. We're going to talk about all that and more in this video. So if you guys are new or haven't already, make sure you show your love for the channel down below. It's been growing like crazy. And guys, it's all because of you. Now, I will say here that we've talked about this pivot. We've talked about this bear trap taking place. And once again, it looks like SHIB has hit that point where, again, it's very comfortable. We talked about the buy zone yesterday. If you guys missed that, basically this range of around 40117, 40115 or so up to where we're at currently is about the range where there's a 17% concentration of holders. And it's a very good spot in terms of price defense. Usually if we get below there, we get quick wicks back up, we get huge buying taking place. And so right now, SHIB's kind of in a place of comfort, we'll call it. So now the question is, do we get some explosion and some pop out of here as the week progresses? What I will say is that in terms of ETH, we're right still in our comfortable range here. This is a great spot to be. We're actually getting very much sandwiched between our 200-day EMA and our SMA. So right now, ETH looks like on the verge of a potential breakout. Actually, it's very close to crossing on the daily stochastic RSI. A bullish cross there would be great for the markets, great for something like Shiba Inu. And SHIB does need to make steps forward in terms of the SHIB ETH pairing, which I'll talk about that more here in just a moment. But I have to say, for the most part, it's been pretty quiet. Not a whole lot going on in terms of whales, very light chop. Yesterday was 2 days ago was 114 billion SHIB outflow day. Yesterday was a 47 billion SHIB inflow day. Exchange supply just sitting right at about 85 trillion, almost right on the head. So we're in a very good spot where SHIB could in fact be conducive to seeing bigger pumps. All right, I'm not saying that's going to happen for sure, but being in a comfortable range, seeing the hoarding of supply and conviction that we're seeing, these are all great signs. Now, something that does need to make a step forward is the SHIB ETH pairing. Now, we've talked about this many times before. There have been some places where SHIB has had an opportunity to get a strong bounce, but unfortunately, we've had events that have just pushed SHIB down where it hasn't done well. And it sucks. It kind of is what it is. Actually, if you guys didn't notice, from the Thursday news on, SHIB actually did a good job of bouncing versus Ethereum, which was kind of surprising. You would think that, SHIB would see some more drop there or accelerate a little bit faster to the downside. It wasn't. And that is really a good sign in terms of conviction from holders. Now, what I will say is that when we look at this weekly chart in terms of SHIB ETH, we're actually at a spot where we've kind of bottomed on the weekly stochastic RSI. We haven't flipped bullish quite yet, but usually when we hit this essentially flatline zone here, you tend to see a pivot, right? We flatlined all the way back here in June of 2024. And then we know we got a very strong SHIB pivot versus ETH. Flatlined here basically in, what was that? January of 2025. Nice pivot versus Ethereum. Got this once again here in basically February of 2024, right before we know SHIB went on this massive run here. So we're seeing some really good bottom signals, if you will, with these flat lines in terms of weekly stochastic RSI. Could this be the moment where SHIB kind of basically creates a little bit of a double bottom here versus ETH and gets a nice bounce? Potentially. We still need good news. We need positive sentiment to take back over the space. What I will say is, BTC being around 107K, great sign for the market. BTC dominance is slightly dropping over the last 2 days. That is a great spot to be in. And what I will say is that we didn't create a CME gap here. So we've basically had the perfect start to the week. And now it's a question of, do we have enough momentum to keep things rolling, to get basically this breakout started? Even USDT dominance dropping. I mean, there's basically a perfect setup for all coin performance this week. And it's a question of, again, do we get enough? Do we get enough? Is it enough news? Is it enough positivity? Is it enough to carry SHIB out of these ranges and to some higher prices? So we'll just have to watch and wait and see how the week progresses. But I appreciate you as always. Hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know your thoughts below, but have a great day. Catch you guys in the next one. Take care.